had to choose a word. There's only one word for this car. What would you choose? The iCar V23 is obviously a new energy vehicle, but was given the design of a square box, raised front hood, round retro headlights, off-road style front pass mountain. The sight of the hard-hitting off-road vehicle? But don't be in a hurry to define him as a hardliner. Watch the shapes begin to fall. You can add prevention and control lights. If you open it, you can directly add glass water. The eyebrows can be quickly removed. It's kind of science fiction, right? Hidden radar. The high brake light is hidden in the small school bag. There's also a camera. Isn't it fun? And it's like Changashan. Wheel arches, rear view mirrors, roof, including the blind window here, and the small school bag. You can DIY any color. Of course, you can also change the whole car to one color like I did. How about the iPad V23? I changed it to GT Silver because I think I want this car to be cooler, more science fiction. In this case, silver is a good choice. What about this car? The whole car has hard lines. So I don't want to use too complicated and curvy lattes. Let's be simple and direct. Now, what about this car? Lots of black decorations. I don't want to change it because I thought that would be cool. What about on the basis of black and GT silver? I just hope that the latte flower can be publicized, more personal, more presumptuous. So I chose a very contrasting pink. A whole sweet wind. How about that? Isn't that a little too hard to describe? This car, born to be fun. Wow, I feel so happy when I drive this car. You feel that his 4'2" car length is really too flexible. And the first feeling you see this car, you will think his line of sight is very good. But it's not just his hardcore SUV look. In fact, his entire line of sight is very similar to the hardcore SUV you drive. The first is that we sit very tall. I can see directly into my front hood. And the front windshield? It's also more upright in this state, much like hardcore off-road. The side window line of the side window is very low. So we have a pretty good view of the front. And here you see it is a 2-story handrail. Just this one when we drive. Does it feel particularly domineering to open the window and blow the air? The second feeling, I think it's agility. Because what about this car? It's purely electric. So when you start, you feel very neat. Just give it a little bit, and the motivation will come soon. What about the iPad V23? It comes in 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. The 2-wheel drive version has a 100 kilowatt motor in the back. What about the 4-wheel drive version, which is to add a 55 kilowatt motor in front of it? So even though it's a 4-wheel drive version, it's still a rear drive setting. But whether it is a 2-wheel drive version or a 4-wheel drive version, I think that's enough motivation. And I found that this car is quite surprising to drive. Didn't we just talk about it? It's just that his sitting posture is a little high, which is very similar to this hardcore off-road sight feeling. But I found that he actually drives a little steel cannon style. This car has 4 wheels and 4 corners. The battery is located here in the center, under our car. So actually, the center of gravity is quite low, relative to a car of the same structure. And then there's this car, which uses an independent suspension with front Wi-Fi 3 and rear 5 links. The suspension's doing pretty good. Minor bumps, including a big speed bump, it handled neatly and cleanly. You feel comfortable sitting and driving? And when changing lanes, the lateral support he gave you is still quite good. The whole body attitude stability control is also very good. So actually this car is on the road if you dare to turn. You'll notice he feels a bit like a go-kart. It's kind of fun to drive. In addition, this V23 has 6 driving modes, which also includes the road conditions of this clear cross-country. Then many friends asked if this car with a bit of a hardcore off-road style could be hardcore off-road. Well, statistically speaking, it's pretty passable. So if we switch to clear off-road mode, his 4-wheel drive version has uncoupled front and rear motors. There is also a limited slip function on the wheel edge. And the motor, his output torque is very large. So I guess his off-road ability is pretty good. But anyway, I think so. We still drive this car more in the city. But I can only say that if we go to the countryside in the city to play, camping, etc., hit an ordinary sub-packaged road surface. This car is in good condition, and there is no problem. So what level is his off-road ability? Let's think of it as another surprise Easter egg for this iCar V23. Let's pry it open next time! Surprise, not just in driving, there are also many in the car, and the screws for standard parts are reserved here and here. We can go and install fun equipment. The AUX interface is reserved here. Then we can control the external light. And look at these little silver-plated ones. The decorative parts are also very delicate. And you listen, he has a wonderful voice. And the damping is also very good, including the knobs for this driving mode. Every twist. It will also have a small UI displayed on it. Isn't that kind of fun? The car machine is now using the 855 chip. The function of vehicle control includes the status of our entire vehicle. There are also various APPs. The use of the car is very smooth. It's actually spatial. Here's a 3-kilo hook. There is a small drawer under each of the 2 seats in front. For girls, it is very convenient to put bags and high heels. This is a chase plant. If we usually go to a very narrow place to park, then it was blocked here. We can go straight down from here. Isn't that cool? The back row, there are also many fun places. First of all, you can see that there is also a 3-kilo hook behind the front seat. And since it's in this shape, we have a lot of room for expansion. Like a hiking buckle. It is okay to install a cup holder and a small table board. And by the way, you see, there's a lot of room in the back of the car because our current rear seat is a pushback design. In that case, I'll give you legroom. The second thing you can see is that our heads are actually behind the blind window, so it guarantees the line of sight ahead. At the same time, the sense of privacy here also feels very good. The outside of the blind window itself can be changed, right? He also reserved the position of the standard screw inside, so you can actually do another modification here. So, in addition, this seat, do you find any difference? It is actually 2 very large seats, just like a sofa, equal to you alone. The seat is so big, but at the same time, it can also seat 3 people. If I had to choose just one word to describe this car, I feel like I'm really at a loss for this question to leave to you. Well, a lot of cars describe themselves as young people's first cars. Pursuit of wind resistance, pursuit of large space. But maybe only this V23. What he seeks is how to make your life and his life more exciting.